Hey guys, I'm gonna make a quick cabbage, like a sauteed cabbage. That's how we make it back home in Kenya. We just kind of fry it in oil and put some tomatoes. But hey, come on. So I already washed my cabbage, and then we just cut it into like really small pieces. We really usually don't really have like a recipe per se. Everything is just like by memory, and also just, you know, a pinch of this, a pinch of that. When I first came to United States, and people, I would make something to take to work, and people would be like, "Can we have a recipe?" I'm like, "What recipe? I don't know." We don't usually write things down. We just go by like, you know, we ballpark everything, and it usually comes out really good. But so this is like a half a cabbage, which I think is already done. Then we're gonna do quick so I already washed it, like I said before. I have some onion. I have a half an onion. I usually like to use the purple onion, but I don't have any today, so I'm just using the white onion. And so this is just half an onion. It was just a medium-sized onion, so when we say half, you know, it just depends on, like, you know, some onions are big, some onions are small, so just like a small medium onion. If it's small, you can use a whole onion. If it's a medium size, you can use half. Some people like more onion than others, so you know, it's up to you, however you want to do it. So, and here we go. Gonna put my onion in the sufuria or pot. Sufuria is in Swahili. And we usually will fry our onion for a little bit. So I'm just going to add, let me move my stuff closer, that way you guys can see. I put some oil, just vegetable oil. I like a lot of oil. So some people don't, but since I'm not gonna be putting any water in my cabbage, I usually will put extra oil in it. So put some oil in it, extra oil, like you can see, and then I'll saute the onions. We'll let that cook. While that's cooking, I'm going to cut, I have 3, I'll say small tomatoes. I already washed them, so don't come after me. And then I'll just cut them like this. So, and also some people like more tomatoes than others, so depending on just how much you want in your dish. Not everything is the same, you know. Some people want things spicy, some people don't want spicy, you know, so just, you know, go by what you like. But tomatoes are a must, and especially just raw tomatoes like this, not canned tomatoes. My mom loves cabbage, and so does my husband. Of all the veggies, they love the cabbage, and I do too. I think I like collard greens as well. So we just let the onions cook. Cooking the onions. I also have a half a green pepper, so I'm gonna cut that as well. I already washed everything just to save time. And just make it like little. So just make it your own, how you want to cut your ingredients. Some people like to cut the green pepper big. Some people also don't like to put green pepper in veggies like cabbage, but in cabbage I like to put green pepper just for the smell actually, and the taste. It just makes it smell so good and tastes good as well. So usually, like back home, we would, instead of just cutting it like this, we would have pound it so it can be nice and soft, or blend it in a blender. So you know, when you're in a rush, you just do what you can. That's why, like back home, when people cook from scratch, it kind of takes like a whole day, because it's very painstaking. It's very meticulous. And so you can see my onions are cooking. I did put my heat on high. This is a smaller burner, so, and my sufuria or pot is kind of not flat, so it doesn't sit very well on the heat. But so, and then usually I'll put the tomatoes. And the secret to the tomatoes, whether you're making veggies or you're making stew, is to make sure that the tomatoes cook. Like literally, you don't see any solids, like completely. They have to cook. So we're gonna cook the tomatoes there for a while. While we're doing that, I will be using some curry powder. I have 3 different kinds of curry powder, and this just to show that you can use whatever curry powder you want. This is curry powder from HEB. It's just our local grocery store here in Texas. Well, I guess not every part of Texas, but in Texas. This is curry powder. So you know, if you're running around and you find curry powder in your grocery store, I don't know if you've used it before or not, but usually this one is good. I also have this curry powder. This is from Kenya. It's really good. So I'm just going to use one of them, not all of them, but I just want to show you that there's different kinds of curry powder. This one is an all-time like favorite. This is curry powder from Kenya. It's called Simbambili. Simbambili means 2 lions. You can see these 2 lions. This has been around since I was a kid. This is really good. The only downside to it is that if you put too much, it's kind of a little picker or a little bit spicy. Not necessarily spicy like hot, but for kids, let's say, they may not like that. It's kind of like a little spicy. So usually we just put a little bit, or you put more depending on your taste. Okay, so I'll just be using one of those, and then I'm taking into my. So the secret is to make sure that I usually will pound the tomatoes. I do not like whole tomatoes. I like my tomatoes completely cooked so they can get into the meal that you're cooking, whether it's stew or whether it's cabbage or veggies or beans or whatever. Otherwise, why are you using tomatoes if the tomatoes are whole? Like you need to squeeze all the juice out of the tomatoes. So I will pound the tomatoes like this, just so. Let me show you. See, I'm pounding the tomatoes so they can, all the juices of the tomato. So I do this even when I'm making nyama, which is meat, like beef stew. or chicken if I'm making chicken kuku, which is chicken stew, or any other veggies. I usually will make sure I crush. Now, you would ask, why don't I just use a blender? Yeah, you can do that. But I don't know, I guess I'm just used to this, to doing this, to pound them while I'm cooking. And then now, I usually will start putting my spices. So, we have some salt, just, I usually don't really have a recipe or amount. I just do a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt. I'll do, let me see which curry powder I'm gonna use. Let's use the HEB curry powder. I'll just, this one, I have a whole one. This one was just about done. So I'll just put some of that in here, give it that taste for curry. I also have this beef masala, so if you're trying anything new, if you have anything in your home, just use that. I mean, there's no point of going to run around and going to buy something. This is called beef masala. It's also a Kenyan spice. It has some spices from beef, different coriander, salt, turmeric, mustard, ginger, garlic powder, cinnamon. So it's just a mixture of everything. We usually, people would use it for beef. I like to add it to veggies as well. So I just put a little bit of it in there. You okay, Mama? Good job. Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah, curry's done.
And you? So you can see that my onion and tomatoes are completely cooked. I already put my the curry powder. I'm going to add the green peppers. And now I'm gonna add, I had already washed my cabbage. Going to add my cabbage. The heat was on high, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I don't want it to burn. And this is called mwiko. It's just a cooking stick, and this is also from Kenya, but you can buy them at like Walmart or whatever else that you use. We like to use wooden cooking spoons because then you're not scratching the metal, right? I mean, that's what we're always used to using. So you just kind of mix it up together. We don't add any water. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic powder, just a little bit. Just one. There you go. Gonna go turn the heat down so it can just simmer. And usually at this point I will put a lid on it. So let me find one. And I put it at medium heat right now, and so I'm going to be putting my things back. So it's gonna cook for a little bit. It should be ready in about I'd say 7 minutes or so. just to simmer, and that's it. We don't overcook cabbage because then it just, for me personally, it just kind of loses the taste. And if you're not going to finish it in one day, then you're going to put it in the fridge, and then it's going to kind of stay kind of baggy. It's not like solid. So usually a lot of people like to eat cabbage raw, and so this is how we just want to cook it so it doesn't overcook. So it's covered. And earlier I had wanted to make a video, but I was late, so I was running late. This is cabrito. Cabrito is goat. So next time I make goat, I'm gonna show you guys how to make goat. My husband loves goat. It's only me and my husband that eat goat in this house. Everybody else doesn't. And so we're gonna feast on it today. And that's why I made cabbage, because he likes goat and some veggies. So I figured cabbage is like really quick and something fast. And pretty much is done. So you don't overcook it. As you can see, it's pretty much ready. Let's see. Good. Let me see. And see, I did not put any water in here, but the tomatoes had water in them, so it gives it that juicy, and it smells really amazing actually. So let me try this. See how. That crunch is really good, because when you overcook it, it doesn't have that crunch anymore. That was quick. Thank you guys. Bye. Turn it off. See you guys later in another video.